Welcome back to the show. Guitarist extraordinaire, Gus G.
Yes.
I
What's
just
happening?
I just saw you like January, February, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Just
NAM
three
show.
months ago now. And I'm gonna tell everybody out there. So Gus G, when he goes to NAM, it's like impossible to walk 3 steps without getting mobbed by people. You're like a rock star there.
We tried to do the interviews on one of the hallways there, and it was just impossible. And but it's not only like because of fans or anything. It was like there's a lot of musicians around, so a lot of people that I know, like old touring friends and stuff. So everybody's like, "Hey, how are you?" So it's like haven't seen you in 10 years, and then we're trying to do an interview in the midst of all this. It was crazy.
You're a popular guy, man. I see it. Like I see everybody just gravitating towards you. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you're a nice guy too, and you're friendly, and it helps too, being a great artist as well as being somebody
I
who's
always have time for everybody, man. Like for the fans, and also, of course, I have a lot of friends in the industry over the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of friends from a lot of bands that we toured with. Obviously, it happened. If you've been doing it for long enough, you realize how many people you know, and how small the scene is in a way.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We think it's this big, massive thing, but it's really this small. I wouldn't say
Mm,
niche, but I would say it's a subculture.
correct. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. Great news. Gus G's coming out with Steel Burner on April 24th. Your
Mm.
fifth solo album.
Yeah, yeah. Fifth.
Wow, and you got some cool guests here. You got Doro,
Yeah,
Matt
man.
Barlow, Ronnie
Yeah.
Romero. Who am I leaving out?
Uh,
Dino
Dean
Jelusic.
Dino is on it. Yeah, yeah. Great singers, all of them.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
some living legends and some legends in the making for sure.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So to me, I love all these singers. These are great.
Oh yeah.
What a nice pick. What a nice sort of a. I'll get into the singers in a second, but I just want to tell you, I was just in Greece. I was in Greece in July, August, 6 months ago. I was
Yeah.
like, and and it was a wonderful trip. It was beautiful. It doesn't change much. I mean, I've been to
Mm.
Greece many times, but first time I went back to Macedonia in like 40 years. It's like
Yeah.
nothing's changed.
Right. 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 Same like as in back in '85, right?
The only difference was the drive because now there's a highway and beautiful highways. The beautiful
Yeah. Yeah. Now the roads are the like national roads are fixed now, so yeah, they're
beautiful,
much
beautiful.
better.
We used to go sort of like go up the mountains and down and up the mountains and down all the way to Castoria. Like it used to be like this, like you get seasick from going up and down all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And you think people are gonna cut you off the road because they're small little
Yeah.
roads.
Dangerous
That's changed.
dangerous roads back then. Yeah. A lot of accidents happened there. Yeah.
Driving like 140, 150 kilometers all the way. It's like it was amazing.
Yeah, no, now it's much better like that. So, see, a lot of people don't realize. I'm gonna say this. Like, a lot of people think that Greece is only the sea and the beaches, but Greece, like the land, has a. We have, of course, we're surrounded by water, but we have a lot of mountains. So
Yeah,
it's not a flat land. So it's hard to basically, like it takes decades to build roads and stuff like that, and tunnels and things like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
I went to what's it called? The meteor,
where Mateo, yes, Galapagos.
Meteora. That's right. Like because it goes like right. It's on the way. First time I ever
Yeah.
been there. It was like insane. It's like it
It's
was beautiful.
different. It's very different vibe there. There's a certain energy about those rocks there,
Yeah.
Meteora.
I went to Thessaloniki just to fly out though, and it's strange because I haven't been there in 40 years since I
Mm.
was a teenager, and nothing's changed. It seems like the same sort. It looks the same. It
It-
seems the same.
yeah, well, some parts of it have changed. The sidewalk by the water is brand new. It's been finished the last decade actually. So that's the most beautiful part of the city in my opinion.
It is.
You
It
probably
is.
didn't
Yeah.
you probably didn't have time to walk down there if you were.
No, actually, what we did actually, we kind of like we
Oh,
went
okay.
in and then kind of we walked a little bit and then we got back in the car and we just took off. So it was sort of
Yeah.
like a,
So that's new there, and that's much better now, of course, than it was before. But I know what you mean. Not a lot of things have changed here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, there's new restaurants. There's more
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
franchises.
yeah.
There's,
There's more
but
people for sure. A lot more people than it used to be.
yeah, yeah. But anyways,
It's a
I had a
crowded
great
city.
time. And
Yeah,
actually, I think the food in the mainland is a lot better than on the islands.
I think so too.
Maybe because the islands are catering more to the Europeans or maybe Americans, and they're sort of dumbing it down a bit. I don't know if that makes sense.
Could be, yeah, could be a bit more commercialized. I don't know.
Commercialize the word, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Steel Burner, April 24th.
It comes with the extra feta cheese.
And you know what? I have you on because we're celebrating the real Easter this week, right? This is real Easter, so I
Yeah, yeah,
figured,
yeah.
yeah.
It's Easter in Greece. Yeah.
And here too. And here too. Just for the small portion of the population that's Orthodox.
Right, right. It's the Orthodox Easter now this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Catholic was last week. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right, Doro. So here's one of my favorite female singers of all time.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about the song. I think probably is one of my favorite songs in the album. Nothing Can Break Me.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, she's also one of my favorite singers of all time. I always loved her voice. Iconic, like such an identifiable tone. The minute she sings something, you're like, oh yeah, man, Dora Pesh. Can't
Yeah.
miss that. And I've known her for a number of years, and I played a solo on one of her albums about 15 years ago.
Wow.
And it was one of those things, I've met her at like festivals or award shows, and we've hung out a couple of times, and it's always like we should write
Hmm.
something together someday. And like she's always busy, I'm busy, and then before you know it, years go by. And I was having a conversation with people at Metal Department Records who are releasing the album, and I was telling them that I want to have a couple of more guests on there. And they go like, "Hey, how about Doro? Would you be interested in that?" And I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
hell yeah!" It's like sometimes you don't think about these things, and then somebody just drops the idea, and you're like, "Yes." And at that moment, I also went like, "I think I have the song for her too," because I had that song, Jimmy. I had it in my computer in a folder somewhere hidden, and I wrote that track about 10 years ago, and it was just sitting there. I didn't do anything
Wow.
with it. I had it because it was half finished. I had it there because I originally wrote it with the intention to maybe if I was going to do something with Ozzy again
Oh,
someday.
wow. Cool.
Yeah, but obviously we never got to do another one, and that thing was just one of those things that one of those riffs that was left there, and I knew I needed like some kind of a iconic voice, somebody
Yeah.
who's like gonna give it that extra push. And anyway, so when the idea with Dora was on the table, I was like, yes, I think I have the song for her. So long story short, I emailed her manager and I said, well, I want to send you guys this track. Please play it for Dora, see what she thinks. And I heard back a couple of days later. Yep, she loves it. She wants to co-write it with you. She's gonna do the lyrics and all that and the melodies. I was like, great. And man, I'm telling you, like a couple of weeks later, she sends me back the completed recording, properly done. Like as you hear it now on the record, and I was like blown away. I was like, wow, what a professional. And yeah, there you have it. That's the story behind Nothing Can Break Me.
Doro, I was wondering, I go, it sounds like a Doro song, but at the same time, it doesn't. It's sort of like it is a Gus G Doro sort of song, right?
It's
That's what,
it's it's a true collaboration because we co-wrote it. It's not like we wrote it with somebody and then she just replicated what we wrote. She wrote her own vocal lines. The lyric is hers. The message, what she wanted to express, and the riffs are mine. The arrangement and everything. So it's like, yeah, it's Gus G and Doro Pesh, man.
man, I see a full album. I see a full album. Geez, I was
Oh,
so impressed. I was so impressed with it. Like I go, not to knock anybody else down, but man,
yeah, yeah.
you and her, what a great collaboration. That
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to make another 10 songs like that with her. That would be
okay,
great.
her lyrics are always about resilience, and sort of that anthemic resilience and fighting
Yeah.
or not fighting back, but I would say just keep going and don't stop sort of
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah. She's unstoppable. She has been for decades, and I like that because also with her, I like that message too. Is really great workout music.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, you go to the gym and just crank it up and just start lifting.
Yeah, yeah, and that's anthemic. Yeah, that's the
It
anthemic
is.
songs are usually like that. All right, Dancing with Death. Here's another favorite singer of mine, Matt Barlow
Mm.
of Iced Earth, Ashes of Aries. I know he was on tour recently in Greece, and I'm assuming that's where the connection came.
Yeah, we know each other because he's been coming to Greece the last couple of years with Ashes of Aries. And we were hanging out. The promoter, Elias,
I
is
just
my
saw him.
closest. You just saw him, huh? Yeah, he was. Where he was in
Nam.
L.A.
Nam. Yeah, he
at
was
the
at
NAM. Yeah,
Nam
yeah,
at
yeah.
the Metal Hall of Fame. We were there together. We walked the
So yeah,
streets.
we're like childhood friends, and we do all our shows here in Greece together. And he books a number of bands, and he's good buddies with Matt. So we were all hanging out, and he's like, "Yeah, we should do something someday." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then he came back another time, and I was thinking, because people ask me like, do you write stuff with somebody in mind? And I'll tell you, I don't write with a specific singer in mind, but sometimes I write stuff and I just put it on the side, like the song with Doro.
Yeah, yeah.
I leave the stuff on the side, and if I feel they don't fit for a firing record or for whatever project I'm doing at the same at the time, I'm like, well, let's leave that. Let's revisit it, maybe, maybe
Yeah.
someday. And it was one of those situations with Matt as well. I had that track. I was convinced it was going to be on a Firewind record, but it didn't work out. And then when we started having that conversation with Matt, I looked into my folder and I find this riff. I'm like, man, this is like this would fit him so perfectly because it has those kind of elements that old Iced Earth have, that kind of melancholic intro, and then it goes into this
Yeah.
fierce kind of riffing and this kind of like almost monotone thing that he can do his aggressive part. Anyway, so I send it to him, and same thing like Doro, man. A couple of weeks later, he sends it back, properly recorded. He wrote his own thing, and you know, these guys are there's great singers like that right there. Who are also writers, and again, a true collaboration. We did it 50-50, which I love about that. I
Yeah.
love that about the record because the collaborations there, we have each singer's own stamp on there, their soul. They put their thing on that. And that's what I wanted. That's what I was aiming for.
Yeah, Matt's amazing. I mean, I know Greece loves Iced Earth, right? Even
Oh
Ashes
yeah,
of Aries. They're huge fans. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because it's great music. That's what it is.
it's
It's great
great
music.
music, and also I think I Stir they did they recorded a live
Live
album
in
here. They
Athens. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think after that they were already big, and then after that it was such a big like a respectful thing, I guess, for the fans here. So they became even bigger, and yeah, they go way back with the fans here in Greece from the since the '90s. And yeah, Matt comes here, and like thousands of people go to the shows, and
You were on stage with them, right? In Thessaloniki, right?
yeah, they they called me out to jam really quickly. We did like a breaking the law without rehearsal, and we could have tried to rehearse that a little bit more, but it was fun. It was like a quick impromptu jam.
Do you still love playing guitar the same way you did when you first picked up the guitar and spent hours playing? Is it still
Oh
that
yeah,
same love?
oh yeah, that never goes away, man. Because for a number of things, like for a number of reasons. Number one, I don't think the learning thing. I don't think that ever ends. There's always something new to learn. You can always get better at what you already know, and I love that part of it,
Hmm.
that ongoing journey.
Yeah.
Um, and music is just great to be able to pick up an instrument and just play music. You forget how time goes. I can just spend time with the guitar, and then if somebody doesn't call me up for dinner, if my wife don't call me up for dinner, I'll be down here in my studio playing forever. And
So that's love when you're just playing
it's
it and you don't
yeah,
have to.
it's like escapism in a way. So yeah, I love it.
Your parents, are they still alive?
Yes, they are.
Are they proud of you?
Yeah, I should hope so.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think yeah. I
Ticanio
mean,
Costas.
yeah, no, they are. No, they really helped me in the early days. They did everything they could in their power to. They always supported my music journey. They tried to send me to America to study at Berkeley. When that didn't work out, and I told them I was gonna come back and then try to go to Sweden, they always try to help me and supported me any way they could. Um, yeah, I mean, my dad bought me my first guitar. So, yeah, they've always been there.
That's good. That's good. And even to this day, they're still proud of their son. You know, he's an
Absolutely.
that's good. That's good
They're
stuff.
they're 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 proud they're proud grandparents now. So
No, no, now you don't matter anymore. It's the baby that matters.
yeah, exactly.
I call it my son. I call it my son. He
Yeah,
goes, hey, dad, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I go, listen, I don't want to talk to you. Put on the baby.
exactly. It's the same thing. My dad, he calls me every afternoon. He's like, "Where's Pablito? Where is he? Come on!" Like,
All right. Dino Jelusic.
yeah,
Another, no one has to know. Another,
mm,
another great song. Man, and when you said up and coming singers, Dino is definitely, I just interviewed him. And
mm.
actually, I think as I was interviewing him, you were texting him. He goes, oh, Gus is texting me. It was just sort of happening at the same time.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'm assuming there was some sort of tie-in when he was probably working on this, or maybe I'm completely wrong.
Was
Not
he? Was
because of
that
me.
No,
You're
no.
probably going
What?
back and forth. Yeah,
Yeah, was that recently? When did you interview him?
2 months ago, maybe.
Oh no, that was like about something else. I was,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, it was about maybe something, some kind of event we might
Okay.
do.
All right.
Let's see if
Okay.
it works out.
Let's see.
But no, the thing is, Dino is also like he's a friend. I've known him for about 7, 8 years, and we played a couple of festivals together over the years. Another one of those situations where we should do something, man. Got to find the time. He's always busy. Same here. And I had this song which is it's a bit different from the other side. It's not so much metal; it's more in the hard rock side of things. It's kind of like it's got this Guns N' Roses vibe.
Hmm.
And anyhow, I I co-wrote that with Jacob Bunton, a great singer songwriter from LA. He actually sang on my second record, Brand New Revolution. He's a great singer,
Yep.
but we hadn't finished the lyrics, so I call up Dino and I'm like, I got this track. Can you put your spin on this and then write a lyric? And yeah, he had this idea about, portraying basically the fake life that a lot of people are doing nowadays on social media, which is it's an issue and a very current one of this
Yeah.
generation. Um, and he did a great job, man. He's such a great singer, and I consider him basically one of the great voices of this generation for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? His voice is like so mature for
Mm,
being like for the age that he's at. But then again, I mean, there's a lot of guys, even David Coverdale in his 20s, he was like just as powerful, right? But
yeah,
Dino's definitely one of the best metal voices out there, right? And he could sing
yeah,
anything. He could sing
yeah.
anything, really.
And he's also one of those multi-instrumentalists, so he can shred on the keyboard. He can,
Yeah. Yeah.
makes you kind of hate him for that. You're like, why are you that good at everything? What makes you
Then,
feel bad?
then of course you have Ronnie Romero, who you've been touring with as of in the last year or two, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Collaborating on stage, and that's a show to go out and check out if you're still collaborating with him. I'm not sure if you
We
have planning
are.
another
No,
tour.
we
Yeah.
are. We are. The thing is, with Ronnie, we started a couple of years ago as a fun thing, and it's still a fun thing, of course. But it started. He called me up about doing some acoustic shows in Romania because that's where he lives.
Hmm.
And we did some acoustic shows, just covers and stuff. And then I invited him to come to Greece. I had a couple of shows here, like electric, with my band. Uh, and then like her agent in Germany saw that. And he's like, "Hey, guys, how about we offer this to some festival, see
Hmm.
if there's any interest?" Like how it is,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
business side of things. And then the next thing we know, we're like, okay, whatever, yeah. The next thing we know is that we're getting offers left and right to play.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the calendar started filling up last year with festival shows, like even like a couple of months tour in Europe. Um, and we did it, and it was really successful. It's a good show too, man. Like we play some of my stuff, some of Ronnie's solo stuff, and I call it like the rock jukebox because
Hmm.
we also play some covers from the band, the artists we were involved with. Obviously, we play some Rainbow. He was
Yeah.
with Richie
Yeah. Yeah.
Blackmore.
Yeah.
We do like an Ozzy tribute, and some Sabbath stuff that we love. Um, and it's a nice show. It's a good blend. Um, and I said to Ronnie last year, I said, well, before we go out on tour, we should probably have a song, something you and me should we should write something. We're gonna do our originals anyways, but we should have something. He said, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we did a track called My Premonition,
Mm,
which we put out as a single last year.
yeah,
And
it's on the
then,
album.
yeah, and then as I was putting the album together, we already knew we were gonna go out again this year because the tour was doing really well. We sold out a lot of shows, and we all the promoters said like we want you guys back next year.
Wow.
So this year we're adding some, we're scaling up some venues in Germany, and then we're adding some other countries. And I said to Ronnie, we should have a second track on, like we should play something else. We should start building a little bit of a catalog at least, that you and me have.
Hmm.
And that's we did another track on the record called Frenemy.
Good old
Um,
frenemies.
yeah, well, yeah, Frenemy. We all have met people like that. We've all encountered frenemies. But no, with Ronnie, we've become really good friends through this process. We really enjoy each other's company off stage. We share a lot of common ground, a lot of common things, because we're the same age. I think he's
Hmm.
a year younger than me, but same generation guys. But we also had that experience to play with like these legendary icons. Him with Blackmore and me with Ozzy. So
Yeah.
we've had this kind of experience in that, which is very rare. And then like coming out of that and then continuing our own paths. But he understands the Balkan style as well, and he's a Latin guy, so we I guess we have a certain way of communicating, so we share the same weird humor, I guess. And anyway, so we've gotten really close, and I really
That's
enjoy
good.
traveling with this guy, and we have a good group together with us and good crew, and it's just been very enjoyable doing this project. And
Cool.
like
Yeah.
we didn't feel the need to start a band or anything. He's a solo artist. I'm a solo artist. We just kind of like we make a synergy. It's better like
Yeah.
that.
Do you find like over the years you're a lot happier that you become your own boss versus playing
Oh
with
yeah.
someone or else or a hired gun? I'm sure you've had like so many opportunities, to join
Oh yeah.
bands, but is it I'm sure financially sometimes it's hard, but being your own boss, nothing beats that, right?
I agree. And it was a conscious decision for me after the Aussie gig to not join other bands because I've had offers to audition, but potentially joining much bigger bands, of course, than mine.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go into that situation again where you're like an expandable guy and you don't
Yeah.
get to call the shots. And I've done that a couple of times in my life, and I realized and I thought, also another thing, like I had to sit down and really think, like anything I do after Aussie is probably going to be a downgrade anyways. So if you're going to
Hmm.
downgrade, you might as well do it on your own terms. So
Yeah, 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 for
and
sure.
and I really enjoy calling my own shots. And I'll tell you, it wasn't like you said, it wasn't always easy. Like I almost had to prove a point again because I had my career pre-Aussie with Firewind, and
Hmm.
then after Aussie, I kind of had to start from scratch again. Weirdly enough, in the beginning, I thought I would just pick it up wherever I left off, but it wasn't like that. I really had to go out there and play with smaller fees than before, kind of grind it in a way, um, and invest in it, if you like. And then it got to a point recently after pandemic where things started picking up again, and it's been good now, man. And we're in a good position where we can look ahead like a year and a half in our schedule, and we know what's coming up, and you know, that's and I love that. I love that kind of freedom of calling the shots
Yeah.
and having a great team that we can communicate and do great things, create our own things, basically, create our own future and our own opportunities.
Yeah, it's like a business, right? It's a
It's a
artistic
company.
business. It's a company. It's an artistic
It's a
company, right? It's
yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah, but
we
Gus,
we're
nothing beats the limousines, right? The guitar techs, the limousines. I mean, that's once you get into that life, right?
yeah, but you have to really not let that get into your head, because even when you are in that situation, and I had a good taste of that obviously for a number of years, like, you have to realize that it's not about you. You know,
Yeah,
you're just working there, and you have a front row seat to all that, to that lifestyle. You can stay at the Four Seasons every night, and you can fly private and all that, but it's not about you. You're working for an artist, for somebody else, or for a band, whatever that is. Um, so, if you realize that this is not about you, it's about somebody else. Your job there is to make that person shine. Uh, so when you do your thing, yeah, it's going to be much smaller level, and yeah, maybe much lesser crew, and maybe not as a nice car, or you fly, you don't fly private, you fly commercial, like the rest of mortals do. But I personally don't have any problems with that, man. And it's all about, I believe in building your own empire. So
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. Hats off to you. I know Firewind, you're going to be releasing something new too, right? Not to in the recent.
we are mixing the new album as we speak.
Nice,
So the new
nice.
album is done. It's a concept album, and I'm excited to share that one as well. I think it's going to be early 27 though.
Okay.
Yeah, this year we're gonna do the Steel Burner album and the tour this fall with Ronnie all over Europe.
Yeah, perfect.
Um,
North America?
no, I don't think we're gonna come to North America. I know that Firewind is coming to North America this fall
That's cool.
for a short run. Not a, it's not gonna be a lot of shows, but we are coming over for a few shows. I can't say yet which, because it's we're supporting somebody, so we have to wait for them to announce it.
Oh, supporting.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we're supporting another cool band. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and I think next year we're gonna come back and do something more. Yeah,
All right. On that note, Steel Burner, April 24th,
yeah.
solo album. We said the fifth, right? The fifth solo album or sixth?
Fifth solo album. It's yeah, no, fifth, number
Fifth,
five,
fifth, fifth.
and I should also say it's half, because I maybe
Oh,
forgot to
yes.
mention that it's
Yes.
half with half instrumental and half with singer vocal
Yeah, and
guests. Yeah,
actually and we should say the instrumental tracks are pretty good. It's got a lot of different flavors there, and your guitar playing is really cool.
it
Very
does. Yeah.
atmospheric. Uh,
Yes.
could have been soundtrack to a movie. I mean, it's really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
enjoyed
Thank you
it.
for saying that, because some of the stuff I actually aim to try to sound a bit more cinematic. So I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about the album?
No, I think we covered it all, man. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I hope you have a great success with this. Steel Burner again, April 24th. That's it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right,
Appreciate it.
man.